Okay, mass can be measured in kilograms or pounds. Below is a conversion graph between kilograms and pounds. Use the graph to make an approximate conversion of 18 pounds to kilograms. So on the y-axis, the vertical axis, we have kilograms, and on the x-axis, the horizontal axis, we have pounds. So if we want to convert 18 pounds to kilograms on the horizontal axis, we go to 18 pounds, and then we draw a straight line. And once it hits the straight line, we then draw a horizontal straight line to the y-axis, 8 kilograms. So 18 pounds is 8 kilograms according to this graph. Conversion. Okay, it's not exactly. If that line is drawn, this vertical line is drawn to the straight line and then horizontally across to the y-axis, it's a little bit more than 8 kilograms, but we're looking for an approximate conversion. We do likewise with 5 pounds. 5 pounds will be approximately here. So we take a vertical line from 5 and a horizontal line across. You can approximate that. So 5 pounds is, this over here is 3. 2.5 is between 2 and 3. That's between 2 and 2.5. So it's approximately 2.25 kilograms. That'll be 5 pounds. Then 4 kilograms to pounds. On the y-axis, we go to 4 kilograms. Draw a horizontal line from 4, cross to the straight line. Where it meets the straight line, we then draw a vertical line down to the x-axis. So it looks like it's between 8 and 10 kilograms, so pounds rather. So 4 kilograms is approximately 9 pounds. Then 10 kilograms to pounds, we go to 10 on the y-axis. Draw a straight line. Horizontal line straight across to the line, a vertical line down to the x-axis. So 10 kilograms is approximately 22 pounds. You're obviously going to be using a ruler in this exercise. Question B, approximately how many pounds are equivalent to a total mass of 1 kilogram? So there's 1 kilogram on the y-axis. Move across, we get this point over here. We move down, and it's approximately 2 pounds. So it's approximately 2 pounds. Explain how you could use the graph to convert 48 pounds to kilograms. Okay, well, if you look at the graph and the axis, it goes up to 10 on the y-axis and 24 on the x-axis. We want 48 pounds. That means we need to extrapolate this graph. Extrapolate just means to extend beyond the constraints of the graph. The graph does not go up to 48, it goes up to 24. So what we're going to do is if we could find, to extrapolate this, we are going to use ratio and proportion essentially. So if we take a factor of 48, we can take 24, but it's also beyond the function because the straight line doesn't extend beyond 22 pounds. So we are going to take another factor of 48. We'll take 12. We'll find the approximate value, and that looks to be, this over here is 5, between 5 and 6. We're looking at about 5.5. So 12 pounds is approximately 5.5 kilograms. What we're going to do now is to extrapolate this, we're going to go from 12 pounds to 48 pounds. This is a straight line. The gradient of a straight line is fixed. It's constant. That's why we can do this. We're essentially finding the gradient of this line. In essence, that's what we're doing. So 48 pounds will be approximately, to get from 12 to 48, we're going to multiply by 4. So we multiply 5.5 by 4, and that will give us 22 kilograms. Question 2. Distances can be measured in centimeters or inches. Below is a conversion graph between inches and centimeters. Use the graph to make an approximate conversion of 4 inches to centimeters. So inches is on the y-axis, the vertical axis, centimeters on the horizontal x-axis. So 4 inches to centimeters, we go to 4 on the y-axis. Draw a straight line across to the line, the straight line, the function, and drop a vertical line down, and we get 10. So 4 inches is 10 centimeters. 9 inches to centimeters. 9 is over here. Then we move across to the straight line, make a mark on that function, drop a vertical down, and we get a value exactly between 20 and 25. So 9 inches will be 22.5 centimeters. 5 centimeters to inches. We go to the horizontal axis now. Draw a straight line with your ruler up to the function, move across to the y-axis, and we have 2. So 5 centimeters is 2 inches. 22 centimeters to inches. So 22 centimeters, this value over here is 22.5. 22 centimeters is just before that. We're going to have to approximate here as accurately as we possibly can. Again, it does say an approximate, okay, so it doesn't have to be 100% accurate. And we're looking at just over 8.5. So 22 centimeters, let's say approximately 8.6 inches. Approximately how many centimeters are there in 1 inch? 1 inch is approximately 2.5 centimeters. And what you could do is take any of these and just divide the centimeters by the inches. So 4 inches is approximately 10 centimeters. Divide by 4, 1 inch will be 10 divided by 4 centimeters, which is 2.5, or 5 over 2 centimeters. And you could do the same with each of these. Explain how you could use the graph to convert 18 inches to centimeters. Again, if you look at the graph, we don't go beyond 10 inches on the y-axis. Again, we can use ratio and proportion to extrapolate this. So what we'll do is we'll take 9 inches, which is what we have here. 9 inches is 22.5 centimeters. And again, it's an approximation. It's not exact. 18 inches, we're going to use ratio and proportion here to find out approximately what 18 inches is in centimeters. We're going to take 9 inches and multiply by 2, and we'll do the same with centimeters. So 22.5 times 2 is 45 centimeters. So 18 inches is approximately 45 centimeters. Question 3. This graph was produced to show approximately how much the British pound is worth in Singapore dollars. Use the graph to make an approximate conversion of 100 British pounds to Singapore dollars. So British pounds is the y-axis, Singapore dollars is the x-axis. So if we want 100 pounds, we go to 100 on the y-axis, draw a horizontal line across to the function, and then drop a vertical line down to the x-axis. So we'll have this point A. And now we just need to read that off. So if you look at these divisions here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 divisions between 0 and 100. So each division is $10. Okay, so each of these units we have 300, 310, 320. So $100 is, sorry, 100 pounds is 320 dollars, Singapore dollars. 30 pounds to Singapore dollars. So 30. If we look at these divisions here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divisions, which means each of these divisions is also 10 on the y-axis. So to get to 30, we go to that point over there. Draw a horizontal line across to the straight line, and then we drop a perpendicular down. 30 pounds is approximately 100 Singapore dollars. $150 to British pounds. Now we're going to the x-axis. 150. There are 10 divisions between the major units on the x-axis. So we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw a vertical line from that point up to the function, and then a horizontal line across to the y-axis. So 150 Singapore dollars is approximately 45 pounds. And then $250. So again, exactly halfway between 200 and 300. Looks to be about 80. So 250 Singapore dollars rather, is approximately 80 pounds. Approximately how many Singapore dollars would you get for £1? So you can take any of these over here to convert, or you could just read it off the graph, but it's very, very difficult because each of these units between 0 and 100 is 10. And to get one is, you're not going to be able to read it off the graph. So we're going to have to just use one of our approximate conversions over here. Let's use the first one, which is 100 pounds is $320. So to get £1 out of this, we're going to divide by 100. So 320 divided by 100 is 3.2. So it's going to be about 3.2 Singapore dollars. What would happen to the conversion line on the graph if the pound is worth fewer Singapore dollars? Well, they're basically asking if it would be steeper or shallower. If the pound is worth fewer Singapore dollars, so let's just take the 320 Singapore dollars. If it was going to be if the pound is worth fewer Singapore dollars, in other words, to get 100 pounds, we would have fewer Singapore dollars. That means the 320 would have to reach the mark of 100 at a much lower value of Singapore dollars. So, for example, let's say it was 250. If we only needed 250 Singapore dollars to reach 100 pounds, then this line would be much steeper. Okay, so what happens to the conversion line? It would be steeper.